Hey friends, so yesterday the gag order was lifted. And then, of course, I immediately started receiving all sorts of requests for a statement. And here's the statement that I put out. For the past 6 years, Donald and acolytes have been making constant negative statements about me. Donald's failed strategy of discrediting me so that he could avoid accountability, it didn't work then and won't work now. So one of the things that, of course, happened thereafter is I went on MSNBC. And as a result of me going on MSNBC, Donald's favorite big mouth, disinformation queen, Alina Habba, decided to speak about it. So do me a favor, watch this clip.
We had a partial win in the First Amendment gag order where he allowed the president to now speak about witnesses. Remember, President Trump is the only person being gagged here. He is the only political candidate that is being gagged. Witnesses themselves weren't gagged. So we have Judge Merchan now, after the trial, after people like Michael Cohen could go on MSDNC and all the rest and talk. Now they say, oh, hey, you were convicted by a New York blue jury, but now you can talk. Don't get it twisted. This is what they're doing to make the American people think that everything is fair and square when we know it is not.
Whoa, boy, Alina. Where do we even begin? So let's start with obviously the first piece of misinformation, disinformation, malinformation being put out by Ms. Habba. By the way, love the blonde look. First and foremost, Donald Trump is not the president of the United States. Why can't they get that through their heads? Either call him Mr. Trump, call him former President Trump, but you can't call him President Trump. He is not the president of the United States. And I think regardless of Republican, Democrat, Independent, I'm pretty sure that we can all agree to that. So now let's go to number two. The reason that he was under a gag order is because he is the defendant. It's not that everybody else has to be under a gag order because dear old Donald von Schitzenpants is under a gag order. He's under a gag order because he is the defendant. I was not a defendant in this case, all right? I was a subpoenaed non-party witness, as were all of the other 21 additional witnesses. You do not gag, all right, witnesses. Now, what happened in my specific case, because my public profile is large enough to make a big difference, Judge Merchan asked prosecutors to please tell Michael Cohen to stop. It's not helping. It's only causing more paperwork by Trump's lawyers to be filed in order to try to muck up the file on appeal. And so I complied. I went on MSNBC because first and foremost, I am allowed to. Donald Trump now can say whatever he wants, but I want to again be clear about something. For the past 6 years, Donald Trump has been doing exactly what he wants to. During the trial, while I was a witness, what did he do? He knew he couldn't speak, so he brought his acolytes out to do it for him. And I'm talking about not just members of Congress and other businessmen. I'm talking about the number two guy, the Speaker of the House, MAGA Mike Johnson. This is not disinformation by MSNBC, not DNC, but MSNBC, Ms. Habba. What this is Michael Cohen speaking truth to power, the same truth that ultimately resulted in 34 convictions by a jury of his peers, 12 independent jurors. I don't know why this is so difficult for them to acknowledge. This, to me, makes absolutely no sense. This has to stop. It absolutely has to stop. The level of misinformation and disinformation, especially coming from Alina Habba, this is all just a joke. So I think we all have to acknowledge that the timing of the lifting of the gag order is very interesting in the fact that tomorrow is the big debate, the debate everybody's waiting for. Well, I believe that the gag order was lifted yesterday so that Donald Trump can freely speak about this case, about witnesses, about me, whoever he wants, without being able to turn around on stage and say things like, Well, I really can't discuss that. I can't answer that because I am currently gagged. That sort of makes him into a sympathetic character when no sympathy should be provided. So I don't think it's coincidental that the decision came down yesterday in order to lift the gag order. And at the end of the day, who cares? There is nothing that Donald Trump is going to be able to say to the American people, whether they are his supporters or they are his detractors. There is nothing he's going to be able to say that he has not already said thousands of times over and over and over again. He says them so often that even his own supporters are walking out of rallies on a staggering basis. And why? Because how many times are they going to hear Michael Cohen is a convicted felon? Yep, that's true. I don't deny it. By the way, so is he. Michael Cohen lied. Yes, I did. It would be nice if people would finally finish the sentence. I lied at the direction of and for the benefit of von Schitzenpants. All right, whether it was the House Select Committee on Intelligence or the Senate Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, this was all to stay on the Trump message about the failed Trump Tower Moscow real estate project. The number of times that I had claimed in that statement that I had spoken to Donald about it and the time period, I stated 3. The true answer was 10. That's the big lie. All right. At the end of the day, everybody has heard this over and over and over again. So what can he possibly say? And the answer is very little. What this has now done is it's taken away a big defense of Donald Trump as to why he cannot answer a question, when we all know the reason why he cannot answer the question is because he doesn't know the answer. The guy doesn't read, he doesn't study, he doesn't understand the minutia. He will be speaking in generalities as he always does. It's going to all be generalities and the fact that he can fix it in 24 hours because he's great and everybody else is no good, and he alone is the answer to resolving these issues. When in fact, we all know in the 4 years that he was president, he accomplished nothing. So I don't think that this gag order, again, was dismissed yesterday against witnesses accidentally. I think the timing is very significant as it relates to the debate. Let's see if I'm right. I can't wait for this debate, as I'm sure neither can you.
Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.